Well, I think we're live. Been away for 4 weeks. I'm such an old man now. Get back into it again. There's a message just popped up from Peter. Hi, Peter. Welcome. Wishing you all a beautiful day. Thank you so much. We wish you a lovely day too. You're in listening mode. Okay, brilliant. We should all be in listening mode, to be fair. But there you go. Most people are probably busy just looking around my room, seeing what's going on. Oh, what's that behind the Pure Energy Healing? What's that? What's that box down there? Well, that box down there is nearly quarter full of Pure Energy Healing cleansing sticks. The 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 machine there is one of them little printers that when I finished working on a crystal, whether it be 1, 2, 3, 10 hours, and I feel as if the energy that I want in that crystal is enough, it then gets put into a plastic, easier to show you, basically. So if I finish working on this crystal, it goes into here, take that off, put that on, like that. And then I write on here a code. So it might be MOLV, MOLV, 2,906, something like that, the amount of crystals we've sold over the years. So then it goes into one of the plastic containers over there, and then goes down to the academy, and then gets stored in the academy where we start the healing work on him as well. So we put sound therapy into them and cleanse every day. So yeah, what else is in the room? The gong behind. What's actually on there? Let me show you. Some people are curious. I'd be curious. Sorry, I'm very curious, but I think the older I get, the less curious I become, and things aren't that important, but to some people they are. So good morning, everybody. Oh, sorry. Jesus Christ, it's afternoon. Seriously, I didn't even get a chance to catch up to Richie Allen Sunday morning. Gutted, but I had stuff to do at the farm. So Tanzanite is a very beautiful crystal, no doubt. Very, very beautiful, very powerful. And when I get it, it's normally kind of small, beautiful blue color. Some are deeper blue, some are lighter blue. But every now and again, my beautiful cherry pickers around the world will contact me and say, I've just picked up this. And I'll look at it and feel it and think, yes, that feels good, feels right. I don't look at what it looks like, I feel it. So they'll tell me, and then I'll say, send me the photo. So I'll feel it first. And I felt this one and thought, okay, this feels good. And then they sent me a photo. So I said, yeah, I'll take it. It basically is one of the most expensive pieces I've had because of the depth and the quality and the just the beautifulness of it. So I sent it to Bali, and while I was in Bali, I picked it up. So you're the first to see it. Now, it's not going to do any justice. You're not going to say, oh, wow, because you can't see it. But when you see it in light, you see that it's absolutely phenomenal quality, phenomenal. And that's how I like them. You might not like it because it's a bit raw. I love raw crystal, love it. And I think I was one of few that started with this idea of raw and making nice settings as well. So that piece cost probably 2, 3, 4 weeks wages, and it's the highest quality you can get. And boy, does it pack a punch. Do you feel the energy of that? I have worked with this. It's really healed my eyes, my tension, my jaw, but it's also brought me to another level of deep connection. It's fabulous. And I might have some on my website still because I bought a collection of beautiful smaller pieces that I had capped, and then I did some in collect finish. some really small pieces because I wanted people to experience it, and then put them on special offer. They might have all gone. There might be still loads there. I don't know. I don't check. But try and get yourself a piece of Tanzanite if you've never tried it. It is something remarkable. Yeah. I exactly the same thing, really. Again, I've got these pieces. Azurite. I went, oh, love Azurite. They're raw. I says, good. I'll have them. How many you've got? Just 2. I'll take them. And then they sent the photos. So this is, again, extremely high quality, really high quality. And they're raw and they're on Motherstone. So you're not going to be able to see it properly. But the quality of this is phenomenal and cost a fortune. Yeah, you can't see it. But that is an incredibly deep blue piece, gorgeous. And then this one, which is kind of spectacular as well in its own right. Again, you can't see it because the sun ain't shining, but that, my friends, is a quality piece. Azurite, phenomenal pointers, phenomenal piece. Again, raw and a very, very special piece. So all these 3 specimens are phenomenal. So you probably wanted to know what they were behind me. So pieces like that, to be honest, you might think, oh, why would you do that? But the pieces like that, when they're over maybe 5, 6, 7, 800, 1,000, 2,000, they actually sell very quickly because there is a market for people who want high quality pieces. There is. And I used to fight with myself all the time because of my own money program in my head. Can't afford. Not true. I went to Bali, the places that I sat and had something to eat, which, you know, I'm lucky enough to be able to afford now, which was like 35, 40 euros for a meal and spend all day there. These people are sat around, these hundreds of people coming in and out had paid 2,000 a night to stay at Four Seasons Hotel. For 2,000 a night. Don't tell me there isn't money. There's more money out there than you could ever imagine. But the money conversation that we have, and I'm a spiritual teacher, so it's not really about money. But then I really realized that life is actually about everything that we touch. And everything that we touch is energy. Regardless whether we like it or not, we should know whether we can do good or bad with it. And the Ouija board, somebody wanted me to talk about that the other day. Somebody created that. Somebody made it, you know. And, you know, I could say there's an argument to be said as how you perceive it. But for me, the Ouija board is the pinnacle of something that I can't seem to get my head around and try and try and perceive it as that, oh, it's only in your thoughts. It's only the negative only comes through because your fear, it's your program. But actually that isn't true. Skipping off that onto another subject. When I was a kid, there was a Ouija board at a house that it was a party. It was a party, and I went with a few lads, and it was a post office. Their mum and dad had gone, and they brought this board out, and we all started playing it. Nobody said it was scary. We all sat there, but let me tell you, it was scary. Something started scaring everybody because, like, who's moving the pen? Who's moving this thing? I'm not. It's moving itself. And then this fear, as it's moving, coming through you, it's a fear. It's an energy. So I don't get that with money. With money, I like the fear of money, of not having it, the fear of, I've got some close family who look at people with money and hate them, literally hate them. They'll work for them, but they'll end up hating them. And it's a kind of your own internal battle with what you believe you're good enough or you're not good enough. And so if you don't feel like you can get to a level of somebody really wealthy, you're going to hate them for it, or you're going to use ways to make you feel better, that you don't feel bad because they're better than you. But they're not better than you. They're not. Nobody's better than you. And actually, that's a good opportunity to move on to a subject called reality. Is somebody better than you? In theory, are they better than you? And what is reality? Because reality is what you make it and what you think of it. You see, everything that I say to you, there's this fallacy, there's this non-reality, that you believe that when people write something down, that you believe them. Well, you've got to understand, first of all, that reality isn't what somebody writes down. It's not a book. It's not a meme. It's not what somebody famous says. It's not somebody who's rich says, because everybody is equal in this world. We're born in this world to move and to do things, and whether we create or cause harm, it's up to us. It's free will. And this idea of looking up to people and feeling that they are everything that we want to be, or everything that you loathe and you don't want to be, is an illusion. And this is where the idea of everything is an illusion comes from. Because what I say to you today is only my reality. But in truth, if you took my reality, what would you do with it? And how would you use it? Is it then my reality that is in your reality, or is it your reality that you've now started creating because you've heard me? So what is reality? I don't think anybody actually knows what reality is, because there's no such thing as a set pattern or reality that life is. And everybody's trying to put into a box. This is reality. This is real. This is fact. No, it isn't. None of it's real. None of it's fact. It's only what we perceive at that given moment. But 16 people can see something as reality at the same time and all perceive it differently. We can all hear me talk, and you can all perceive that differently completely. So who's right? Who's wrong? When you get that into your head, when you grasp that, you realize, shit, nothing's really real. It is really all a bloody messed up, weird thing that we're in. It's just weird. Everything's just weird, because we've been taught that ABC 1, 2, 3 is reality. We've been taught that right and wrong, good and bad is reality. We've been taught you have to be this size to be in good shape. You have to be this pleasant person to be this. All of these things are being put there to make people, in truth, sick, ill, depressed, suicidal, commit suicide, take pharmaceutical products because they think there's something wrong with them, and so on. So boxes, labels, you judging is the worst, by the way. You judging things is going to cause you so much harm and so much confusion in your life. So I'm not saying I'm right, because I'm not, because there's no such thing as right and wrong. But there is something that I can definitely say, that my reality is my reality. That's one thing I can say. Doesn't matter what the reality is, but it's mine. So as I look down, I see Dean. I look down and I see Patsy. I look down and see Susie and Earth Good Trees. That's my reality right now. It's not your reality. Your reality is probably looking on this chat board and having a good old chinwag, laughing at certain things that, yeah, it's true. I am super. I am sexy. And I am a healer. And I am Mark Bajerski, but I actually aren't Mark, and I aren't Bajerski, and I aren't super, and I aren't sexy, and I aren't a healer. So I'm everything and I'm nothing, depending on what my reality is, what my focus is at that given moment. Am I going too deep here? Maybe I'm going too deep. Maybe we should just be shallow and talk about shallow shite, because that's what the world wants. Tell me, give me. That's all everybody wants. And that's why we are in the shit pit, cesspit that we're in. Everybody's searching, everybody's looking, everybody's needing, everybody's wanting, and they want take out spirituality, take out health, quick fix. That's it. Okay, what's next? All right, I'm bored of this person. Let's go. And everybody's reality now has been hijacked by the black screen, by the sleight of hand of all of these politicians, powerful people, Joe Rogan, all of these amazing podcasters now. They're all clambering for your likes and your energy. And obviously, they're clambering for your focus. They want your attention. They need your attention. Without that attention, there is no reality, right? Have you ever heard that saying that if a tree falls in a forest, was there actually any noise? And it's kind of fascinating when you start to realize that life isn't really what we've been told it is. Reality isn't really what we're told it is. So we tend to focus on what he said, she said. Oh, he did that. She did that. He didn't give me this. Didn't give me that. Oh, I did that for that person. They didn't give me this. Oh, they never give me the answer to this. And we're just like, we're like babies that have never grown up. We're in an older suit, but we're still like children. And I guess if anybody's looking down and watching, it's like, it just reminds me of one guy who I absolutely admire, even though he's a grumpy old git and he said some horrible things, but he was honest and he was truthful. And I guess I'd rather be with somebody honest and truthful sat next to me than somebody who's smiling, pretending, and just lying through the teeth, trying to be nice for their own good reasons. And he talked about, homeless people. And he said, I've got an answer to homeless people: golf courses. And he talked about God. Who is God? In a cloud, invisible. Everybody's scared of him. And if you do anything wrong, you'll burn in hell forever. But he loves you. And he made fun of truth, that we've been all indoctrinated, we've been all brainwashed, we've been programmed. And his words sometimes shakes us up a bit. This is nothing more than a Hollywood movie. And we're sat in the front row eating popcorn and just going, oof, oof, oh God. It is very much like that. And he was very, very, very intuitive. In fact, to the point where I think he was definitely aware, highly aware, but would never admit it. And I think a lot of people are, but would never admit it because of the ridicule and mocking of them. So the reality, which I find fascinating, is merely, in my humble opinion, watching everything and watching people's reality, and over the years healing people and helping people with their reality. You come to understand that there are certain times where you see certain things happen in your reality that you can say, okay, well, this is a reality for me, and I'll use that reality. And that reality is all I need to know. And then I would say to them, but it's not all you need to know. Don't get comfortable in your reality, because reality changes and you may have missed reality. You may miss part of your reality. And they'll look at me and say, like, what? And I'll go, I don't know. Okay, you're on a country lane and you're walking on one side of the road and you hear the birds sing and you hear a car come past and it goes past, and you trust reality because you know what your reality is. Your reality is that your senses can hear, but one of the senses you don't need to use. The other sense is absolutely all you need in that reality, and that's your hearing. So you now just hear the birds and you're going to cross the road nice and gently. And as you walk across the road, not looking, because obviously your senses are hearing that there's no cars. But hold on a minute. You're on the floor bleeding and your reality gets shaken. Why? Because somebody on a push bike was flying down that road silently and knocked you over. Shit. I didn't use my reality. I didn't use my senses. I thought this was reality. And now you've been shaken up that actually you see now your reality's changed. So when people scream and shout and we think that's the reality, actually, if I was to look at my reality 20 years ago at what I was saying about injections and autism, what I was talking about Planet Nibiru saying it's all a lot of bullshit and you're all being duped. We've all been duped. We need to stop this. Religion is nothing more than a scary something that holds us back from our true spirituality. I was attacked by Bible bashers. I was attacked by those that are now QAnon, that are now the new freedom, crying of freedom, whatever it's called. There's always a new off Trump, or there's always something new. So they're always jumping onto it, and then they attack other people, and so it continues. They always seem to jump onto a new something that's going to change the world, and this is all for good. And you know, it doesn't matter, because in 10 years from now, you're going to look back on all of that, what I've just said now, and say the same thing I'm saying about Planet Nibiru, Planet X, where, believe me, 20 years ago, people were fighting, people were screaming and shouting, saying all sorts of stuff. You know, Nazim, Mr. Nazim, the quantum guru, you won't see any of his videos, but he was telling people it's coming. And our world is going to change, and we're all going to float. I've mentioned this many times. We're all going to float. Ask him, send him a message saying, do you remember when you said we're all going to float? And it's going to Nibiru is going to pass round, and we're all going to float, and we're all going to transcend, and we're all going to be different, and it's all going to be beautiful, and we're all going to understand each other. And it's a new, yeah. Hello? Where you going, mate? You're not talking about that no more. No, you're not talking about that no more, because you're talking about the new, whatever's new. So this is all their reality. These are all people's realities. So in truth, my conversation is just my reality. And there's a lot in the fact that when you hear somebody's reality, if there's certain people who just embrace that reality and take it for gospel, and that's when you get knocked over by a speeding bike, which is silent, because now you think that's reality. There is no reality, really. No such thing as reality. I think it's just in the moment. And the consciousness that we have inside us is all that is and ever should be, but we don't connect to that. We don't use it. We're so much into the senses, and now the senses have become one sense, maybe two, and that is the brain and the mouth, and we use them too much. But it is what it is, because now the senses are fully focused on two things. So it shifts, as you can see, because you could easily say, well, Mark, that's right, but it's also wrong, because most people now, when you walk out into the reality, you can see people just focused on their eyes. That's it. It's just their eyes, and they're focusing on a black screen, and that's it. So they don't have reality anymore. Their reality is what's on the black screen. I was down at the beach this morning. I was just too late for the Richie Allen radio show to say hello to him. And I always like to say hello to him. I always like to send my love and say thank you for doing these Sunday morning shows. Love them. Thank you for doing all the shows. Always appreciate that. But I couldn't do it this morning. But I went down to the beach. I went to one beach, and then that was full. Went to another beach. That was full. I had to walk 20 minutes to get to the sea. Sat down in a Chiringuito, and I ordered an orange and looked outside, and it was full of people. And there were young girls who were extremely overweight. I mean, so overweight that I actually didn't see a girl who wasn't a normal size weight, I guess. And I don't even know what normal is, but they all had, it just looked really sad for me to look at these 13-year-olds and 10-year-olds who were huge, just literally huge. And they were happy, no problem. It's their reality. I'm not judging. I'm just saying that I just hope they don't become poorly and sick. And, you know, my fears as a healer, like most of my clients who came were, especially children, was grossly overweight, a lot of them. And they were struggling with emotion and sadness and what have you. But there was a lot of them. But they were all on their phone, all of them. They weren't enjoying the sea. They weren't in the ocean. They were on their phone and laughing and doing selfies and dancing, doing dances, shaking their ass. Literally, the world is changing so fast that my reality that I see is one that I never thought I would see in all my life. I never thought I'd see it. And Mitch is absolutely right. Comfort eating is exactly what it is. There is no doubt. But the thing with that is, as well, is when you say it's comfort eating, you're right. Okay, I'm going to give you that. It is. But I would also add to that every food that is processed is deliberately made so that your senses have been hijacked, and that everything that you put inside your belly is non-food, which means your body will never, ever understand what is inside the belly. If the body doesn't understand what's inside the belly, it's going to take a lot longer for the body to say, I am full. Therefore, the body will continue eating. Thus, you've got an expansion of the body growing and growing because you're not eating real food. The same chemicals that are digesting into your body are killing every body clock you have. And we have many body clocks. One of the body clocks is, you know, when to stop eating, what time it is, when to sleep, when not to sleep, and so on. All these body clocks are being targeted by these poisons that are put into our food, that are put into body lotions, that are put into baby lotions. And they're basically all highly toxic products that nobody can explain why they're in there, but they're in there. And of course, we know why they're in there. And nobody can explain why we're using toxic colorings when it's not necessary. So the only reason why they use chemicals, in my opinion, is to hide something that is ugly and horrible, to make it look nice and edible. So, you know, like here's some dog shit, but just let me put some chemicals on it. Let me change the coloring and flavoring so you can eat it. Would you eat it? No, you wouldn't. So then why are you eating Haribo's? Why are you eating most of the food in there? Because it's ground up crap. Why are you eating crab sticks where there's not even a crab in there? Why are you eating? Because it says it on the package. Oh, it says it on the package, does it? Yeah, and it's got crabs on there, and it's got lovely crab sticks. That's what they're called. Right, but it's not crab. It's minced crap, the worst of everything with poison and colouring. Why are you eating it? Because it tastes good. So you're eating it because it tastes good, but not because of what I've just told you. Oh, yeah, that doesn't matter. Just shut up. Just shut up. I'm not bothered. Go away. I don't like you anymore. I don't want you as a friend. Leave me alone. This is reality. Reality is exactly what reality is. And then that reality person may change as they get older, and then they may share their truth and so on. Children don't really look at reality in the sense of health and well-being. That's why they'll climb a tree. That's why they'll climb a mountain. That's why they'll do things that are so bloody frightening, like I did as a kid, that when I went back to my house, Victorian house, and went up to the attic where I lived and opened the little skylark and climbed out, and then went, oh, Jesus Christ, went straight back in again and looked down and asked myself, why is it that every single night I used to climb out of the skylight, jump onto the top of the roof and sit there and eat my breakfast? My mum didn't know, my dad didn't know, but I knew. And every time they came to look for me, they couldn't find me because I was on top of the lead roof. And literally it was 4 floors down, and I could have easily died at any time, but I had no fear. what I'm trying to say is that reality is what it is. And the journey that we're on is neither long or short. The journey that we're on per day is the journey that we're on. When we realize that the journey is important, I think some of us give up and some of us embrace that journey that we're on. Some of us embrace that the fact that every moment is a present, every moment is a divine moment in life. But most of us don't see that moment. Most of us have created a new reality. Most of us has created an illusion through thought, everyday thought, from being influenced by the dark screen, being influenced by people around us, being influenced by our fears. And if we can embrace all of those things and say, then none of those things are really real, they're just an illusion. And if we can break down all of these things, everything's just an illusion. It's all an illusion. And if you can break it down to an illusion, then you can say nothing really has any density to anything. Nothing is real. I'm not real. You're not real. My ego is not real. My thoughts are not real. Nothing's real. It's all an illusion. And if you can live in that understanding that everything is an illusion, then you're far closer to living a more balanced life, free from the fears and the ego. I did this. No, you didn't. I am this. No, you're not. I want this. No, you don't. When I get this, I'm going to be. No, you're not. Oh, I feel so. No, you're not. Oh, do you know what I've got? Do you know what's wrong with me? No, you're not. No, you're not. You're none of those things. And when we can eradicate all of those fears, all of those egos, I think we can find more balance on the tightrope. And that's kind of where I am with that. So being observant to life and sitting down, as the wonderful George Carlin says, in your front row seat, watching the movie and seeing the reality that is unfolding, which is a non-reality and an illusion, and seeing it as a show, even when deep down we don't want to see children being hurt or overweight or being poisoned every day. We just see it as it is what it is. And we send our love and we send energy. And from that point on, I think that's where I really was 20 years ago. And that's when I started going into this new understanding of, okay, if it's all an illusion. I remember Geordie telling me, Geordie Ray. Geordie said, it's all an illusion. I'm like, no, it isn't. He says, yes, it is. You just don't know it yet. And the more I thought about it, yeah, bloody right. It's just an illusion. It's all an illusion. Guess what's just happened? Really? Well, it didn't happen to me. Guess what just happened? Really? No idea. So everything is an illusion. Really. And it's quite remarkable when you sit back and laugh about it. Then you see people being hurt. You can clearly see somebody about to fall and you want to save them. That's your reality at that moment. And the best you can do is your best. So in the reality that you have, you just do your best in that reality. That's what I do. Don't know about you, but I do my best. And if I don't do my best, I normally find myself feeling bad, starting to feel bad. So to bring positivity in your life is to do your best. And doing your best doesn't mean, I need to be a millionaire or, I need to help everybody all the time. It's just doing what feels right inside. That's my best. Not dreams and goals are beautiful, okay? But the reality is that the dreams and goals are really the most important thing. Because when you hit the reality of the dreams and goals, they're never the same. And actually, you can get depressed because what you thought was your dream and goal ended up being not your dream and goal. And that's when you start feeling bad, which is all to do with, a certain word. Forget that word. It's not that important, but it is what it is. I keep saying this. Don't ever, ever stop having dreams. In fact, have as many dreams as you can, because that is a way of, I found anyway, right? Because they'll try and fool you. That's what darkness does. Darkness tries to tell you that your imagination is just your imagination. Oh my God, what a vivid imagination. But within that imagination, when you are creating dreams, you're actually creating the most powerful energy that is connecting to the universe, that is connecting to the spirit world, and that is actually a big shout out on top of a mountain to say what you want to create. Does it mean that you need it and want it? No, but it feels good. So I want a mobile home. I see these people in a mobile home. It reminds me of freedom. It reminds me of traveling as a child with my mum and dad and my sisters and brothers and sister, and feeling that love of going to Poland, and throughout all of the drive, stopping in the morning, having breakfast, and it was just lovely. So that was like, okay, that's a dream. The dream became because of my childhood experiences. And so from 12 years old till 50, how long have I had the mobile home now? You probably know better than me if you saw me in the mobile home. Maybe 5 years. Have I had it 4 years, 3 years? Maybe 3 years. So I've never been able to afford a mobile home. But whereas men turn and look at women, I turn and looked at mobile homes. I don't look at mobile homes anymore. I have a mobile home in my farm. I haven't used it for months. And I think I've only used it a handful of times. And I look at it and it makes me smile. And it didn't make me smile a couple of years ago because I was saying, what's wrong with me? But then I realized it's just an illusion. The idea of dreams, they're just illusions. Because when the dream turns to actual being in front of you, so you've turned your dream into a reality, it's there. Now what? You get in it, you drive, it's lovely, you come back, you get in it, you drive, you come back, get in it, oh, wow, fucking hell. It's a lot of money to fill this vehicle up. My God, the toll charges are a fortune. It's just cost you like 4,000 euros from here to get to Europe and then to come back again. Literally, between 3,000 and 4,000 euros. I can't jump on a plane to get where I need to be for 200. So now your reality changes. It's not what you thought it was anymore. Things like, oh, it's not the same. And I don't feel that same feeling as I did when I was a child. So you can see why a lot of rich people poor people become rich, or people who don't feel as if they're seen or known become famous. And then you see them either killing themselves or going depressed or drinking themselves to death because of this idea that's been programmed into all of us. And this have to have and be the better and be the best. It's bullshit. Just be content and happy with your day and life, and just smile at everything when it's going crazy around you, and be thankful for the tea that comes from Mother Earth. Say thank you for horsetail. Thank you for dandelion. Thank you for this that I'm going to breathe in 5 minutes. Thank you for everything that I'm thankful for. I'm thankful for the top, thankful for my crystal. I'm thankful for my beads. I'm thankful for the sign behind me. I'm thankful for everything in the same way that I'm thankful for no matter what. I treat every thankfulness, every gratitude equally. There's nothing more, for me, nothing worse than having gratitude in a way that's measured gratitude. That's bullshit. Gratitude is gratitude, whether it's a little gift that a little child gives you, or whether it's, somebody giving you, a car. It's gratitude. Thank you. It's not about how much it's worth. It's not about its value. It's gratitude that, like, I have a message that I might have a message today from you guys, and I look at it and go, wow, that feels amazing. That's really nice. Thank you so much. Like, Really, I mean that. And something about that message will just touch me and blow me away. And like, you know, I had a message last night. Who was it from? Somebody sent me a message last night. I get messages all the time, bad ones, horrific ones. Somebody last night saying, I'm going to haunt your children for the rest of your life. Like just awful, subhuman beings in this world. And then there's like something just comes up and you see a beautiful message and it just touches your heart and you feel just a little message to somebody can be equal to somebody, you know, sending you a crystal. If I send you a crystal, it's all the same. So I try not to measure good deeds at all. And I don't know what it is, but I always see smaller deeds as more powerful. I don't know why. It's weird that, but it's beautiful. The small deeds are the most beautiful ones to me. I don't know about you guys. I really love small deeds. It just feels good. So I try and sweep my doorstep to begin with in the morning, because if I'm in a bad mood in the morning and my reality is like, what's wrong with me? I'm not going to be any good for you on here. I'm not going to be good for somebody on the street. I'm going to be walking around with, and this is the next part of today, energies. And we create energies, and with a power, you know, if you say something horrible to somebody, that's an energy. Okay. So, you know, be aware of your energy. So I try and keep out of the way. You know, when your dog's poorly, what does your dog do when it's poorly? Goes and lies down in its basket, or you can't find it. It's just gone. And I think there's something in that. I think there's something in animals that go away when they're poorly. They need their own space. They need to heal themselves, and they don't want to cause issue to other people. And I'm very much like that, and I'm sure you are as well. And so that's the same thing with energy. That's the same with feeling. Feeling and emotion is the same thing. Positive, negative, high, low. If you come with high energy, then your battery life's great for everybody else. So you can zoom that energy everywhere. You can give it freely, sometimes not even knowing you're giving it, which is beautiful. And that's a good day. When you're having a bad day, I come out of the way and lay down and just try to heal myself, because I know that if I come out into the open to you guys and start, everything is going wrong, I'm having a bad day, my hormones are all over the place, biorhythms, they're all over the place, I don't know what to do, I'm feeling bad, then you're going to start to like, oh my God, and you might start feeling bad. Or if I say everything's going wrong, and sometimes and often I do start going into this place where everything's going wrong and the world is going bad, what I'm doing then is causing an effect to everybody else. It's like a domino effect. My first teacher told me that. And to a degree, it's right. But then there's the other side of the coin as well. Because remember, nothing's right and wrong. It just is. And then the other side of the coin is where there's loads of healers now crying, like emotional wrecks. And I realized that why I was trying to share over the past 15 years with people that most healers, most psychics, most truthers, most powerful life coaches, they're actually a mess. They're a mess, just like me. We're a mess. We're doing it because we need to try and find how to heal ourselves in our past. So as we learn, we want to share it, but we also forget to say, by the way, I'm doing this because I'm a mess. I was abused. You know, this happened to me. That happened to me. I got bullied all my life at school. Just got that face that somebody liked to bully me. And so we've got all this trauma, and we're trying to figure a way out how to heal our trauma, our past, our energy. We're trying to be a better person. And now we're sharing that with people. We're going to climbing to the top of the mountain saying, hey, I found a way that helps. And I've tried fresh orange with pineapple, and I put them both together and chew them, and I feel better. And Don Tolman told me about it. So I share that with everybody. And then people say, hey, this guy's amazing. Listen to this guy. He's brilliant. Look at him. But actually, he's a mess. Deep down, he's a mess, just like most healers and psychics are. And I think a lot of you might understand that now because you're seeing it more and more. I made a video the other day saying there's a lot of healers, a lot of psychics, a lot of clairvoyance, clairaudience, clair whatever you want to call yourself. But a lot of people in the field of healing and helping people are starting to really lose the plot. they're starting to become sick. They're starting to become really visibly ill and sharing that. And thus, this is why I'm talking about energies. We have to understand what energies are and what's happening, these energies inside us. Are they our own? Do we create them ourselves via the internet, or somebody saying something nasty? Or are we creating these energies by allowing them in? Are we being hijacked by other people's energies? We can start by saying somebody could be a friend of yours, and after you've finished speaking to them, they've left and you feel drained. Some people like to call that energy vampire. So they'll suck your energy. I just say that we're all radiators and drains throughout the week and month. So we all do that without even realizing. But yes, some people tend to take our energy and then we're exhausted. And then that's one form of energy depletion, I want to call it. And then there's other energies that are around us, energies of the computer. You can't tell me after spending 3 hours on the computer, you're not exhausted. You are, and you need to replenish your energy by going out to Mother Earth, Mother Nature, or get away from the screen. When the computer's in your pocket all day long and you're in your hand most of the day, then, I mean, it doesn't take a brain scientist to figure out that the reason why you're exhausted is because your phone has drained your energy. And I do believe the phone is a drainer of energy. Whether it blasts you an energy, which then depletes your energy, or whether it sucks your energy in, I don't really fully know that, but I do know that a phone definitely steals your energy one way or another. So that's another form of energy. Then you've got energies of entity, which is around us all the time. You've got, if you're open to it, or you're becoming really upset, you're becoming angry, you become open, you become an antenna to the other frequencies in the world, which are worlds within worlds. So you've got the spirit world, which is a veils between worlds, which sometimes you can see, sometimes you can feel, sometimes you can smell. And then you've got entities, then you've got spirit trapped in between two worlds, and then you've got very heavy demonic energies, and then you've got new energies that are being created by HARP, DARPA, CERN, and all of those military industrial complexes. You've got your spraying every day, and then you've got your food, which is poisoned. You've got your water, which is poisoned. Nothing is real now. Nothing is healthy. Nothing is. So you're being attacked on so many levels. So when you see this and hear this and you realize you walk into a supermarket and there's nothing on the shelves that you can eat or drink, there's a reality check. Reality becomes a new reality. That new reality now is, well, I might as well kill myself. No, you might as well not kill yourself. You might as well say, well done. Because most of the people in this world, like my dad, just live, eat, drunk, beat, and sleep. He was either happy, he was either, I wish he was, he sometimes smiled. Oh, only when his friends came. My dad was the best. If you would say my dad's friends that my dad was an abuser, they would look at you like one guy did do at his funeral, and said, he said something really awful to us, all three children. There was three of us, three brothers. And he said to us something about your disrespect. You're speaking about your father and disrespecting him. And I said, well, God forbid my children would never fear me in my lifetime like we feared him. Something like that, I said. So you have no idea. And plus the fact this guy lived just around the corner. He beat his three children too. So the fact that this pain and suffering that we've all gone through, the harshness of those energies that we have to deal with from people like my dad and those people who attack us all the time, who hate us, who don't even know us, who attack, but like, why are you attacking? Why are you doing that? Why do you hate this person so much? And then you start to look at this hate and try and understand this reality of hate and people trying to attack us all the time. Why are they doing this? Because they're being influenced. Their life is bad. Their life is sad. Their life is angry. So they need to find somebody to hate, because whatever is inside them, whatever's influencing them is hate. And it ultimately boils down to fear. Fear of not being the person that they want to be. So it's easier to distract themselves, point in the other direction, throw stones at people, because it means that they're not able to look at themselves ever. And that's their life. That's their reality. Chase everything, hunt everything, look for everything else except themselves. And that's reality. Eat, drink, sleep, work, just like my dad. All he ever did was eat, drink, sleep, work. So going back to this reality of eat, drink, sleep, work, and I always used to see this in people, thank God I'm not somebody who eat, drink, sleep, work, because you never understand reality. You go through your whole life, and then the moment you die, then you see what you came and what you should have done that you didn't do. And I found that with a lot of clients that I was on their bed, next to them on their bed, ready to move into the light. Even the ones that were awake and aware saw things that they're like, oh my God, I didn't know. And they always said in those terms, oh my God, I didn't realize. Oh my God, I didn't know. Oh my God, like there's a revelation that happens as you move from this world into the next, because you never die. It's beautiful. It's beautiful to think. And I can understand why the gurus, the Buddhas, and those that went into their own space, they wanted to connect to their own self. They're not alone, you know. They're in their own energy. They're not lonely. That, you know, it just in that space and time of your own, there's so much you can figure out in your own space and time. But the battle is between the heart and mind, because your mind will only limit you to what you've learned, which is nothing, which is a grain of sand on a beach. That's all you've learned. But the consciousness knows everything. And if you can tap into your consciousness, when you can't do that when you're with people, because you're tapping into different energies, so you don't know what's what. When you're on your own and you're on a beach, or you're in a forest, and you just sat there, or you climb in a tree and you just sit there and just be, you find that you have a battle, and the battle's easier when you're in Mother Nature. And the mind tends to quieten down in Mother Nature. When you're in a 10-story flat, you can't get that energy. You can't get that connection. So the more you're in Mother Nature, the more you become more connected to the consciousness, because Mother Nature heals the electric cesspit of dark energies that's been accumulated into your body system and your aura, chi, prana. That's how it is. So I think, you know, the idea of blessing or baptizing is, for me, a metaphor. It's clearing away the negative energy and all your past and all that you've learned, and bring you back up to being a new empty vessel, ready to digest, ready to accept a new way of reality, seeing things differently. So the best we can do now is change our reality step by step, small steps. And that's what I do. So I wanted to give up sugar because a woman came in here with his husband, and they live on the end here. No, they don't live here. They own a property, but they live in the UK. And I invited them. I said, oh, come. And he's a barrister and a lawyer, and she's a scientist. So she works in like petri dishes and all of this. And they were very curious about what I used to do. And one day, a long time ago, he was sat down on the step next to the pharmacy, and he couldn't breathe properly. And I said, would you like me to try and help? And he thought he was going to have an heart attack. And I put my hand on his back and I started giving healing. And within half an hour, it had gone, and they were very thankful. So I was just there at the right place, right time. It could have been, he could have gone after half an hour anyway. So I don't know whether I helped or not, but they were very thankful. So we became friends. Anyway, I invited them here to the Pure Energy Healing Academy. And I always remember making a tea, and I made a tea for them both. And I said, would you like sugar? And she looked at me and she says, sugar is evil, Mark. It's evil. And that was it. That was the turning point. A scientist telling me that sugar is evil. That's it. I'm not touching it anymore. However, I'd be on 3 sugars a day from 0 to 38 years old. I'd put sugar in everything. So now I'm going to have to spend years to turn that around. So what I decided to do is, how am I going to get rid of this addiction? Because being addicted to sugars is more addicted than cocaine or heroin, and people don't realize that. And just on a side note, giving poison to rats in small doses is equal to giving a sugar to humans. It's the same process, what it goes through the body and what happens to the body. So I thought, I don't want to take sugar no more. I just don't want to do it. I don't want to intake evil anymore. And I'm talking about refined sugar. So I started changing it to, well, what can I take? And I thought, oh, I'm going to try this. I'm going to try that. So I tried loads of stuff, and I ended up going on to honey. Now, let me tell you, most honey, 90% of honey is refined. It's bollocks. Everything in the shops, it's a lie. Manuka honey, I think, is different. I think you're going to be safe with that, but it's too much money. But yeah, even the ones that they say they get from the mountain here, it's a lie. They refine it. They put other stuff in like syrup. So I started to change it to honey, real honey. And I realized that I'm replacing 3 sugars to three heaps of honey, which was even worse. So I went from going from bad to even worse in the sense, even though it was better, but it wasn't, because it wasn't real honey. So I said, slowly come off. And I went slower down and no more. And then so it took small steps to get there. It took years. Now I don't take sugar. And sometimes I'll have a sweet or a bun or a cake, but I won't beat myself up over it. But I try and say, what's in this bun? It's not real sugar. It's not refined sugar. It's coconut sugar, or it's this. It's a natural. Okay, I'll have a piece of cake. I won't beat myself up, but I don't want 3 sugars anymore. I don't want sugar in my tea. I don't want it. Don't need it. In fact, it'll make me feel sick. And I will literally feel sick if I eat. And my tongue, it'll go totally blistered. It'll blister if I do. It's like, so I don't want to do that. I don't want to harm myself. So everything that we do in life, I think some people have a reality of, I'm just stopping and that's it from now on. And some people will do it in small steps. And I think where I was going with this conversation, right at the very beginning of this conversation, I think what I was trying to say is that if I say to you, this is the way to heal people, that is not truth. That is just my reality, but it might not be yours. If I say to you, this is the truth about what I'm seeing, it's not the truth. It's just my truth. Okay. So if you see it that way, think about this. If you see it that way, that, okay, that's Mark's truth, right? Or if you say something and say to somebody, this is my truth, okay? And if you believe that and keep saying it enough, repeating it to your mind, saying, no, it's not truth, it's just his truth, it's her truth, but it's not real truth. There is no such thing as real truth. By doing that, you eliminate the anger, you eliminate the bitterness, you eliminate the shock, you eliminate everything in the sense of negative energy, because you don't take it personal anymore, because it's just their truth, but it doesn't mean it's true. In fact, it's not really true if it's not true in your truth and your experience. So whether you embrace it as your truth and you get angry, now that has become your truth. So as soon as we get angry to somebody, then we're embracing somebody's reality, which is not really a reality at all. It's just their reality. So I'm talking about a wide scale thing. I'm not talking about John smacked Tracy over the head with a hammer. That's reality because you saw it happen. That was a reality. Fact, I don't know what facts are anymore. I don't even understand the word fact. And is fact truth? I don't know, because everything is different. But when we see things with our eye, that Jenny hit John over the head with a hammer, that was an action and that took place. And these things are slightly different than what we talk about, that the cry of freedom. Is it, isn't it? It doesn't really matter whether it is or isn't. Is Bill Gates a killer? Does he want to kill? It doesn't really matter. None of it, because we get upset, we get angry, and we then start to put time and effort and energy into it, and it's not healthy. It's not healthy. But if we do it in like, oh, I don't believe that guy and I'm going to say what I feel, that's my reality. But I'm not buying into it, into the sense that this is the truth in the sense, because what is the truth? It's just feeling. It's just feeling. What's your feelings about that? Yeah, they're my feelings too. I have kind of got the same feelings, right? What feelings were mine last year to they are now? They're different. So was my feelings last year right or wrong? What's my feelings now? Is it right or wrong? It isn't. Because I could easily say to you, what did you think about when you were 10 years old to your reality now? Totally different. So were you wrong there? You're right now? Because if I skip forward 20 years from now and ask you the same thing, you'll say the same thing again, which, Occam's razor says that you come to the simplest conclusion, that there is no right and wrong. It just is what it is in the moment. But it isn't reality. It's just our version of a reality. Is it truth? It's our version of truth. So if you can see life like that, then you're free from ego. Ego disappears. Ego only stays when you think you're right. Jesus Christ, did I do that? I'm right. Well, why are you banging your hand if you're right? Why are you getting angry if you're right? Mark Bajerski is an evil person and I want to kill him. Well, if that's the truth, why are you angry? Why are you getting angry about it? Why are you boiling up inside? It is what it is. If it is, why are you angry? So why would I be angry at Fauci? I'm not angry with him. Do I think he did it for money? Of course I do. Yeah. Do I think he cares what people feel? Well, he probably cares about his own family, but other than that, I don't think he cares about anything or anybody, just about filling his pockets. That's my feeling. You might say, oh yeah, I feel that, but actually I think he is actually evil. And I think, yeah, there might be some truth in that. There might be something that's inside him, taken over him, or could it be that he might not be of this world where we come from, our spirit world? Maybe he is a different entity inside the spacesuit. That's my reality. At this moment, my reality is that we're not all the same. And I'm seeing that. And that's what I'm working on as well. And maybe in 10 years, I'll write a book on that. Because I think when we accept the fact that we're not all of the same place, we're not all from God, we're all from different parts of this cosmos. And we all can come into these spacesuits and experience life. And that some of us are different from others. Then I think there might be a change of awareness and a new reality check. But then again, I could be wrong. So there you go. Deep conversation today with a super sexy healer. Yeah, should have got to Specsavers. Okay, was lovely talking. If I've upset anybody, sorry about that. I never mean to upset people, but I guess if you're here now, I would ask the question, what's the point of being here if I'm upsetting you? Why don't you find somebody that, makes you happy? It must be so difficult to listen to somebody and hate them or feel hate inside. I wouldn't do it. I switch off now. I'm not interested. Nobody's going to make me feel hate anymore. It's too heavy a burden. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Deep dive. Yay. Don't drive. Don't drown, whatever you do. Yeah. So I'm going to get back on with work now. How long did that last for? Did we do how long? 1 hour. Wow. Freaking hell. 1 hour. 1 hour of dribble. Yeah. 1 hour of dribble, Mr. Bajerski. You've just wasted an hour of your life. Sorry. Really? Yeah. So, yeah, have you seen the new settings? They're not on the website yet, but they're MOLDAVITE. I know it looks like Herkimer, but it's actually MOLDAVITE. MOLDAVITE. They've come from Bali. MOLDAVITE and Herkimer Diamond. They'll be on the website soon, I think. Look. It's hard to see, but yeah, it's a MOLDAVITE and a Herkimer. Actually, really, one of my favorite crystals to wear, 2 of them, definitely. Oh, wrong way around. I'm going to keep it there. I don't care. I had my pants on the wrong way around yesterday, and my partner said to me, people will really think you've lost the plot by wearing your pants, these the wrong way around, inside out. And I said, no, actually, if Hollywood and if all the designer labels can get away with wearing radiators and car bonnets and whatever they wear on their body, I'm sure I can get away with saying this is the new fashion. Your label's inside out. No, actually, my label is exactly how it's meant to be. That's the new reality. I'm wishing you all a lovely day, guys. Let's finish on a really nice note. Oh, okay. Should we finish on a nice note? Let's read a card for all of us. Just our message today. Are you ready? And then I'm done. My energy's done. Then I'll crack on with some work. So spread the cards and read a card for you today. Okay. So the mind is the mind that plays tricks. The mind is the mind that brings ruin. The mind is the mind that hurts. Jealousy is a painful thing. Focusing on others is a painful thing. When I read the Ten of Swords, it is probably the most challenging moment in our life. And that, of course, is the battle between the ruin of the brain. So the brain is really the greatest battle we have. If we can reprogram this brain of ours, if we can bring love into the brain, if we can teach the brain to slow down, if we can help the brain to see things differently, if we can motivate ourselves, if we can create, if we can help and give and share, these things are adding to the brain's memory like a computer. The more you store in the brain of good and kindness and love and jokes and fun and happiness and focus on the positive, you'll find that you'll delete all the pain, the suffering, everything that went wrong in your past, everything that may go wrong in your future. All of those thoughts and feelings will disappear. So I guess it's very similar to if you put good health into your mouth, the more you put into your mouth, the more of the bad doesn't go into the mouth. So the more good you focus on, the more beautiful things that you put your eyes towards, the more positive things you think about, the more creating you do in your mind, the more you will change your mind, which then will change your life, which then will clear the emotion of sadness and pain and suffering and the idea of depression. It is simply a mind change. So today, don't let your mind ruin your life. That's our message today. And that message is just as much for me. Trust me when I tell you. All right, guys. Love you all. Thanks for the message. Could have been a nicer one. All right, guys. Love you all. See you later. Anything that you want to say? Anything that you want to say before I go? Because Mr. Bajerski never talks to us. I try and channel. Anything that you want to say? Anything that you want to get out there? Now is your chance. You will have only 2 minutes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Lovely. Oh, we have a doctor in the house. Chuckle. Is that Chuckle Vision? Very good. I remember it. To him, to her, to him, to him, to her. Thank you, Super Sexy. I'll take that. You've heard them influencers. I'll take that. Oh, I'll take that. Oh, I'll take that. Shut up. Okay, then. Be light. I will. Have a great day. You know, something just came to me before I go. The idea of this new thought process of everything being evil, everything being a trick, everybody being this and that. I was thinking about it this afternoon. Symbolisms, colors. I know that we have to go through it. I get it. I get that. I just get it. We have to go through it. So it begins where it's bullshit. Then it begins with, it could be. Then it begins with, I think they're right. Then it begins with, oh my God, I can see it now. Then it's, I know it's real. So it comes to you now, it's real. That's the part that frightens me. So Mark Bajerski, he's got a sun behind him. Now, if you look at suns and you start to work out who worshipped the sun, it's really worshipping Saturn. And from Saturn, it's all the darkness. Or what's he got on at the moment? What color is he wearing? Mark might be wearing red. Oh, he's wearing red. If he's wearing red, you know what red is? It's Luciferian. It's of the devil. So he is that. Oh, no, today's wearing white. Oh, you know, white. Anybody who wears white, they've got to be like, thinks they're a guru and they're walking in their guru power, which then they influence everybody and they're tricksters. And look at the color of his sofa. I got this from somebody not so long ago. Look at the colors. Look at everything what's happening. Look at what he's doing with his hands. Did you see what he did with his hands there? He's definitely that. You see, do you know? So everything can be a reality to your reality. Some people in this world may do things and just do them. There are people, this is called discerning, discern. So when there's a photo shoot of a celebrity doing this, okay, that's been put out into the ether, that goes out into the public. It's huge, right? Huge. So there might be maybe something in that. There's a movie, there's a big movie, and it's showing you all these awful things of children being kidnapped, and so there might be something in that. But if you're looking upon everything as a sign that makes everybody evil, or what was I called? Masonic, or whatever it is, okay? It's the worst thing in the world that you have to go through. That is the most awful point of your life, because you don't know what you're saying. You're saying anything and you're believing anything. And that's why a lot of us have stepped away from this truther movement, because those who were, let's say, sick, those who were unambitious, those who felt that they've got nowhere in life, those who are alcoholics, drug takers, they've gone from one addiction to another. They've embraced a new addiction, and that is everybody's evil, everybody's poisonous. And I now have this new idea of David Icke, what he said, and now I'm going to embrace it and believe it and look at everybody in that way. And now you've got a world that is in chaos, that cannot discern, because most of the truthers are actually sick, ill, mentally unstable, because they're on drugs or pharmaceutical drugs, or they just hate life and they hate everything, and they're looking for something to create in their life. So that is a shocking part of my reality over these past 20 years. And I've seen it every day. But I also want to say that at the beginning of this conversation, what is reality? I look upon one person who attacks me as, look at their reality, look at their life, and just smile and eat your popcorn and say, wow, this is interesting. And it's the best way of dealing with this fake reality and realizing actually everything is just an illusion. And then to stand back and say how you actually reacted to the illusion and this reality that we live in. And the secret is to not react in a negative, but to sit down, like George Carlin says, eat your popcorn and watch everybody attack you in a way that it's a movie, because that's all it is. I'm wishing you all a great day, guys. Take care. Bye for now. Love you all. Ciao, ciao.